Free the five! Justice now! Free the five! Justice now! Free the five! Justice now!
My name is Irma Gonzalez. I'm the daughter of Olga Salanueva and Rene Gonzalez, one of the 5 Cubans who are in prison in the United States for fighting terrorism. They were in prison 12 years ago. They were arrested on September 12, 1998. They were in Miami, infiltrating terrorist organizations that live in Miami, organize themselves in Miami to commit terrorist acts against Cuba. These terrorist acts has cost the life of more than 3,000 people in Cuba and have injured more than 2,000 who are now disabled because of these terrorist organizations. And these Cuban 5, they were in Miami infiltrating these organizations in order to prevent death from happening in Cuba. In 1998, the Cuban authorities gave information to the U.S. authorities about this organization, these terrorist organizations, hoping for them to do something about it to stop these organizations. And instead, the U.S. authorities arrested the 5. And since then, we've been struggling for justice to be done. My mom and Adriana, which is Gerardo's wife, both of them haven't been able to go and visit them in prison. In the case of my mother, she was living with my father in Miami when he got arrested. And a year after that, when the trial was going to begin, the prosecution tried to negotiate with my dad to try to make him testify against the other 4. Like he didn't do so. They arrested my mom and they deported her back to Cuba. And since then, she haven't been able to go and visit him. And so it's been 10 years now since she hasn't seen my father. And then in the case of Adriana, she was in Cuba, but she won't get a visa to go and visit Gerardo. So for us, the kids that have grown up without their fathers, who have grown up seeing their mothers suffer for having their partner away, and for those kids who haven't been able to be born, in the case of 2 of the 5, who are the younger ones, who have no kids and who may not have kids, I think it is time for that to stop. It is time for justice to be done. That's why we're here today in this vigil that has been done many times before in front of the U.S. Embassy, where the noble people and honest people with sense of justice of Great Britain, of the United Kingdom, have gathered to scream for the freedom of the 5.
8 winners of Nobel Prizes have supported them. 110 members of the British House of Commons have supported them. Amnesty International supports them. And there's no doubt that these people, like many others, including Mahatma Gandhi and Nelson Mandela, who served many years in prison, will come out, and when they come out they will know that they have had the friendship of the British people.
And we're united in common decency and humanity and a fight for justice. And if anyone's listening across the road, we're here for as long as it takes. We don't want to be here. We want to know that the 5 are at home with their families and their friends, enjoying life in Cuba. But as long as they're in American prison, we will be here standing shoulder to shoulder with their families, their wives and their friends.
For so long as those 5 men remain in prison in the United States, that will be unfinished business. And we will not give up, and not go away, and I hope the American ambassador is listening. We will not go away until those 5 men, brave men, courageous men of principle, receive justice.
The US policy against the 5 Cubans who are in the US prisons, like all US policy towards Cuba, is totally irrational, it's hypocritical, and it's all based on wanting to punish Cuba. It's wanting to punish Cuba for daring to have a revolution. It's wanting to punish Cuba for daring to nationalise US companies who'd been exploiting the Cuban people for many years. And it's wanting to punish Cuba for daring to be a beacon to people throughout the world, for showing that there is a way of doing things differently, that we could have a better world, and Cuba's showing how that might be done.
The reality is that there's no proper evidence at all whatsoever that they're terrorists. In fact, they are counter-terrorists, these people. And we think that at a time when the American government is trying to get rid of terrorism, these people should be applauded for actually trying to help the cause of ending terrorism as well. And what we're trying to do is get a campaign and be part of the campaign to release the so-called Miami Five, send them back home to where they should be with their loved ones and their families, and we can start getting into a proper world dialogue of just speaking to other countries, trading with other countries, and most of all having mutual respect for other countries.
And I hope next year what it is we will do will be to greet the five and enjoy with them because they're free. So thank you very much. And I know that their freedom is going to be made possible because of your effort and your love and your struggle.
Thank you.